So I build electric guitars, and when I'm not doing that, I'm doing band stuff or listing stuff on eBay. I don't really have any spare time to earn any extra pocket money. So I figured I'd just Truman Show myself and pimp out my privacy. This is Last Chance Arcade.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello, little man. Who's a goblin?
Hey, it's episode 7. Welcome back. Nice to see you all. No Bruce Forsyth, just nice to see you all. How's everybody doing? This is the 7th one of these that I have done, and this is the 7th time I've sat down to do a voiceover, and it's not getting any easier. I can't figure it out. I don't understand. Instead of writing anything down this time, I'm just going to try and riff the whole thing, and hopefully after these 11 minutes we can get to the bottom of why I'm finding it so hard to talk to my phone by myself in my shed. I think the biggest problem is, like, people waffle so much. Like, everybody has something to say at the moment, and it doesn't matter if it's opinion or fact-based. Everybody thinks that what's in their head is the most important thing. You know, your reds, your blues, your goodies, your baddies. They've all got a massive opinion, and they've kind of turned it into their identity. They don't have too much to chat to you about if you go to the pub with them, besides those kinds of things, politics and whatnot, and there isn't much wiggle room either. Once they've made their decision, they make it their whole personality to defend that decision and, I guess, push people away that challenge it. Whereas I haven't got my mind made up on anything, really. I'm well up for opinions. You tell me your opinion, I'll listen to it. I'm not going to take it as seriously as you do. I'm sorry. And I guess that's where it kind of comes down to me when I'm talking to you guys. Like in the real world, I've had, I've been quite opinionated at points, for sure. And I've kind of gone in two-footed with my opinions and my beliefs. I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. That might be biggest understatement of the century. But the problem is, all the conspiracy theories that I've been banging on for the last decade, they're all coming true. Now, that's not a good thing. One, it's not a good thing that these horrible things that I thought were happening in the world are actually happening in the world. And two, it's not a good thing, because when I voiced those opinions, and, I lost a... Did I lose a couple of friends over it? I'm pretty sure a few people, distanced themselves from me, because, who wants to hang around with the mental Sasquatch with his crazy opinions? But the things that I said, they all came true. They all came true. And the people who stuck about, I didn't get too much of a, wow, you were really onto something there, man. Maybe I should listen to a few more things you have to say. A couple of people said, well, how did you know so soon? Like I'd been on the island. Well, needless to say, I don't fit in the tax bracket of people that were allowed on the island. Plus, I didn't want to diddle anybody. And in the same vein, I don't want to diddle any of you guys with a load of fucking nonsense that I'm just kind of waffling on about. So that's another reason that I'm afraid to talk to my phone. But the next worst thing was what happened after all those conspiracies came true. It was when I'd approach, my mates or people I work with, and I'm like, I've noticed a couple of patterns here or there, and I think if we do this or we do that, I think it could be beneficial in the future. And then they kind of look at me and they're like, I don't really think this crazy conspiracy theorist has much to add to this conversation, so Let's give him a little pat on the back and send him on his way. Same in the band, man. Like, I'm the bass player. Nothing I say gets taken seriously. I can come out with some primo kind of ideas, and people they'll just laugh like I'm saying a joke. I'm like, guys, we need to start a YouTube channel. You know, I think we could get a few followers if we just document the things that we do. It doesn't have to be a daily channel. We could just, once a month do a little band update video. I think that could go quite far. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Bass player. Bottom of the barrel. So, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. I think one of my big problems is I've had so many people ignore me in my life. For me to then sit down and try tell my ideas and my thoughts to like a wider net of people. The small net that I threw my ideas at, the net got thrown back. And with a bigger net, I guess I'm worried that the bigger net's going to come back and finally keep me pinned down.
Third time in a row?
I guess the thing you've got to, it's like a ego death thing, right? You've just got to put your ego to the side, say what you want to say. Like I've been harping on about since the beginning, if you're not hurting anyone and you're being creative and you're doing what you want to do, there can't be anything wrong with that. But I guess if all these opinions and thoughts and words are coming out of my mouth, I've got to make sure that they're worth listening to, right? I don't want that feeling of inadequacy again, which is a bit of a bitch thing to say, but at the same time, very true. It'd be maybe in the future when I get a few watches, I can get a few comments, and I can respond to those. That'd be quite nice. But in the meantime, I'm just shooting off the top of the dome. I'm just talking about what I'm thinking about, and that is the most vulnerable place you can be. And I don't know how well that's working so far. Like I say, we're only on episode 7 or so, but I'll get used to it. I'll get used to it over time. But look at that, episode 7. Despite being terrified of doing it, I've sat down and I've done it every day for a week. And I've got another week's worth of videos ready to do as well. What should I do there? Because it'd be way better if I could, just upload the day after. If I could shoot a video, all fresh in my mind, I could react to, the previous day's comments, stuff like that. But at the same time, I've got another week's worth of videos. So if I start doing it, I won't answer people's questions for a week, which is kind of shit. Maybe if I get on top of it, I'll just do like a super cut of a week, put it all together, and then get back on top of it. But then I don't have any buffer time. Ooh, there's so many things to think about. I don't know what to do. To quote Big Dog Mandela himself, courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting down, even though I'm scared, and I'm recording the voiceover. But there's a line, isn't there? Because you can get courageous idiots, and they are definitely the ones that are going to die first. They're the ones that will get picked off by the alien in the movie, or, well, maybe not. Maybe it's not the courageous idiot. Maybe it's usually the black guy or the woman. But the point still stands. I mean, maybe this is what I do. Maybe I don't prepare anything and I just kind of riff off the top of my head. This isn't going too badly, to be honest. I don't feel too nervous doing this one. But then again, like I say, it's day 7. I've been doing it every day, so maybe the nerves will just go that way. But I still need something good to talk about. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe like this time I've thought of the voiceover. Next time it could be the awkwardness of walking around with a camera in your hands all day. And how to explain it to people who don't have a clue why you would even think about doing that. I guess to sum up the day, I'm going to leave you with a quote. I'm going to start doing that. I've done it on the last couple of videos, and I think a nice little quote at the end, just to kind of sum everything up, will go down just nicely. And looking at quotes about facing your fears, this one's really stood out to me. It says, "Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. And that comes fresh from the mouth of a man who, I'm pretty sure, hasn't ever made a wrong decision. He's always been at the top of his game. He's always been a great role model. To be honest, is a man whose quote list is never ending. Such other amazing quotes just off the top of a dome, like, heard you singing about cream in your rap, kid. Yo, my last check for Wild Wild West came on a flatbed. And oh, what was the other one? Yo, every time I shoot, I score. Got so many awards, I could start a Grammy chessboard. That's right. Will Smith is the man. And maybe if I can make half as many good decisions as him, one day in the future, my wife will cook me and my friends will lose the small amount of respect they still had for me left. We shall see.